Two cans of chemicals sitting on a shelf both develop leaks. As the fluids seep out of the two cans, they slowly run toward one another, finally meeting and creating a chemical reaction that starts a fire and burns down the multi-million-dollar research facility, killing hundreds of workers. Was the behavior of the chemicals morally right or morally wrong? I trust that it is clear that a chemical reaction has nothing to do with moral behavior. Such a scenario is purely under physical law, not moral law. We will return to this illustration shortly. Quoting from Stephen Law, we read, "Humanists are either atheist or at least agnostic. They are skeptical about the claim that there exists a God or gods. They are also skeptical about angels, demons, and other such supernatural beings." Law further states, "Humanism involves a commitment to the existence and importance of moral value. Humanists also believe our ethics should be strongly informed by study of what human beings are actually like, and of what will help them flourish in this world rather than the next. Humanists reject such negative claims as that there cannot be moral value without God, and that we will not be or are unlikely to be good without God and religion to guide us. Humanists offer moral justifications and arguments rooted other than in religious authority and dogma. Humanism exalts the importance of human beings, individually or collectively, beyond the reality and or importance of God. This is in contrast with the biblical perspective. Human value is rooted in the fact that God created us in His image and His likeness. Human value and importance, individually or collectively, never surpasses that of God's. Humanistic thinking has had a huge influence upon society, a detrimental influence. Most of its influence has been peripheral, meaning that those affected by it are likely unaware of its effect. Humanism is not simply a proper concern for the well-being of our fellow man, humanitarianism. It is a system of thought and approach toward life that places man at the center of everything, seeing his happiness and well-being as supreme. Humanism is an ideology that is incapable of producing positive social and moral results. Many social commentators bemoan the direction we are heading, recognizing many detrimental developments taking place in our culture. There is a shift in, if not an abandonment of, moral values. I would like to address an often overlooked foundational reason for this. Three characteristics of humanism are atheism, or at least agnosticism, materialism, or naturalism, and the claim that we do not need God to develop moral value. It is a false assumption and a false claim made by the humanist that as atheistic materialist, human beings can still have moral values and be moral creatures. I am not arguing that those claiming to be humanists fail to propose ideas about good and bad, right and wrong. My concern is much more fundamental than that. As materialist and naturalist, they have no foundation from which to build or even speak of moral issues. I've used the illustration above to set the stage for understanding this issue. How does this illustration apply to my criticism of the humanist claim that they have, quote, a commitment to the existence and importance of moral value, end quote? If, as the humanist admits, there is no God, and they are consequently materialist, then human beings and all our functions are simply subject to physical law, bags of chemicals responding to other bags of chemicals. This is a deadly flaw. This inconsistency must not be glibly dismissed. What the humanist calls moral value or moral behavior is only a chemical reaction. You can call a car an airplane, but that does not make it fly. In order to have actual moral values, the humanist must borrow from an ideology other than itself, which happens to be biblical theism. To borrow from a system you have denied is questionable, to say the least. A materialist encouraging a person to have moral values is like encouraging people to have gardens while denying the existence of seeds. If the humanist dares be consistent with his belief system, he has only a world void of moral value. I fear we see the seeds of this world view producing its fruit all around us.